Welcome to another Self-Love Sunday. I'm your host, Namibia, on this self-love journey. This is the podcast where we talk about love, healing, self-care, and information for inspiration. Before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe to the Self-Love Journey with Namibia YouTube channel and join us on Facebook in the group Self-Love Sundays. Let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Self-Love Sundays. I'm your host, Namibia, on this self-love journey. Today, we are talking about being prepared. This is episode 12, and this is the time of year when a lot of college students are taking their final exams, and it's a lot of stress around testing. You have a lot of grade school students getting ready for their state exams, especially here in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware Valley. People are taking the grade level students are taking their exams, and there's a lot of stress around that time. A lot of weight is put on the results of that test, so there's a lot of anxiety about taking it. And you hear people say that I'm not really a good test taker, so a part of relieving some of that anxiety for taking tests is being prepared. And so just like we have tests in school, like in college and grade school, there are definitely tests that we have in life. And so on the self-love journey, which is our life journey, there are tests along the way. So today, I just want to talk about being prepared and how that can help us on our journey. So this week we're talking about being prepared. A lot of college students right now during this time are taking their final exams, and there's a lot of anxiety around that. In the grade school, you have scholars who are being prepared or getting ready to take their state assessment, especially in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. A lot of districts, students are getting ready to take that test. And so there's a lot of weight that is put on the results of that test, and so you have a lot of anxiety with some students, maybe teachers and parents. However, what can relieve some of that anxiety? Being prepared. And so test prep is very important. Just like in school, in life, we have tests on our self-love journey. Our self-love journey is just our life journey. So there are tests along the way. There are storms that are going to happen. And so instead of just waiting for those storms to take place, we can be prepared for that. Not only for the storms, but for the sunny times. And there's sunshine and there's blessings that are coming. How well are we prepared for those blessings that take place, that come? So a lot of times we focus on just the negative that will happen. And yes, you need to be prepared for the storms that come, but expect greatness. What happens when those great things happen? Are we ready for it? Well, if you're not ready, let's get ready. Okay, on our self-love journey, let's get ready and expect great things to come out of our self-love journey. So, what are tests? Basically, tests just challenges our fortitude or our how focused we are. It challenges our self-discipline, okay, under pressure. It's not taking what we don't know. It's taking things that we know and just maybe putting a little pressure on it or a lot of pressure and seeing how we react or behave under those pressure circumstances, whether it's time or whatever it is. Okay, so in life, there are tests. So in self-love journeys, let's say if you got out of a bad relationship and you said that you forgave that person, or a bad friendship and you forgave that person, and how do we react when we're confronted with that person again? Okay, do we really forgive them? All right, or are we harboring anger and resentment towards that person? If we get that little stirred feeling, then we truly have not forgiven that person or have been healed from that situation. So that let us know what we need to work on. What are our areas that we need to work on? And how well are we doing along the way? That's what tests are important. Is if we didn't have tests, then we wouldn't know how much progress we made or how much progress there is to make. Okay, so another scenario, a test. Decide to be celibate, you get tempted. All right, so what happens? Do we falter or did we stay the course? All right, so those are tests that are along the way. Another test, we all in our families, especially now this time in during a pandemic, we suffer loss. We truly, you say, Namibia, how can I really get prepared for the loss of something happening? Not to say that we 100% prepared, but to know that these things will happen, and making sure that we value each moment and spend time with our loved ones, and pour into the things that that give us passion, and be prepared even financially for things that to take place. Okay, so we're talking about being prepared, and two separate categories of being prepared: being prepared for things that are unanticipated, and being prepared for things that are anticipated. Okay, so those things like the emergency situations that you may not expect. The saying is expect the unexpected. So those emergency situations that may that occur, and also preparing for the blessing. So I say if you want to get married, all right. So how are you preparing for that? What are you doing to prepare yourself for that? Or you want a certain job, a certain career. One of my mentors said, dress for the role that you want. Okay, so if you want a promotion, okay, how are you getting yourself ready for that? So being prepared, being ready for your blessing when it happens. Okay, so why should we be prepared? Why should we be prepared? So I'm going to give you 4 reasons why we should be prepared. Okay, so being prepared, like I mentioned before, helps our self-discipline, our self-control. Okay, it getting into a routine of things helps us, with that self-discipline. Also, another reason to be prepared is it helps our strategic thinking and planning and being methodical about what we do, being deliberate about what we do. Okay, instead of just letting things just happen. You can be easy breezy about things, but however, if we're on this journey, and I know me personally, I'm on a self-love journey, and there are goals that I want to accomplish on this journey, then there are habits that I need to adopt in order to be successful in reaching those goals. Okay, so let's say the journey is I'm giving you an analogy, is a river, and you're flowing down the river in a boat without a paddle. Okay, so you're just going to go in the direction of wherever the stream is taking you, wherever the river, the currents are taking you. But if you have a paddle, you can navigate a little better where your direction you're going. So being prepared is like having that paddle, and being able to guide and facilitate where you need to go to reach those goals, to be successful. Another reason why we want to be prepared is it helps us be a little bit more flexible. Okay, knowing that there is something that a storm that will come, or knowing that we're going to be blessed. Okay, so when little things happen, we're not so, when the storm happens, we're just not so frantic. Okay, we're not just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this is happening to me. Well, expect that it's going to happen. Expect that things, that there will be bumps in the road, that there will be detours in the journey. Expect it, okay? And embracing it. Being prepared helps us to embrace those types of things that occur. And another reason, a fourth reason to be prepared is it helps us to be resilient. And resiliency is defined as the ability to become strong, healthy, or successful again after something bad happens, to snap back. Okay, it helps us with that snap back, and it's important because like the saying goes, a proverb, a Japanese proverb: fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Okay, so knowing that I'm gonna go back to that storm, that it is sunshine after the storm. So, being prepared for unanticipated events or situations. How do we do that? On a self-love journey. Now, the self-love journey is not all about, just loving yourself. Well, a part of that is being prepared when things happen. Okay, storms, not just with relationships, but financial storms that happen. Putting together an emergency fund. Having life insurance. That's important. That can relieve stress with family. People that our loved ones, being able to take care of them. There are a lot of packages that are reasonable today. We want to make sure that we are that we consider our loved ones. Okay, so life insurance. Have a worst case scenario budget. All right, and also seeking advice from experts, from financial experts. Those type of things help us to be prepared when a rainy day occurs, and we know that rainy days do happen. All right, being prepared for the anticipated events, or expecting the best outcome, expecting to be blessed, dressing for the position you want, learning as much as you can about what you want to do. Where you see yourself. If you see yourself in a certain career, making sure that you learn as much as you can, seeking a mentor, and growing in that field, growing, and not just waiting. Say if you wanted to go to school for whatever you wanted to go to school for. If you want to go to school for electronics, technical devices, to learn more about that and practice on those type of things. Engineering, learn about that. Do your research and become an authority on that. So I just want to take it back to me and my self-love journey and what I've been doing to prepare for the rainy day, and also to prepare for the best outcome. So I shared with you in the past that I've gone through a divorce, and anytime you go through a divorce, there is a financial impact. For me, it was a great financial impact and setback, and I call it my Job moment. Like Job in the Bible, where basically it lost everything and had to start over again. So I had to rebuild my credit. And what did I do to do that? I had a full-time job. Getting a part-time job to help out with that. Sometimes you have to have a side hustle, a legitimate side hustle, but to have a side hustle to bring in a little extra money, to cut down expenses, those luxury expenses that you have, and to seek help with that. When somebody financial advisor, there's a lot of people that help with credit situation to get your credit in order. So it took some years for it to happen. I'm in a much better place than I was when I got into a divorce, when I was divorced. However, there's still progress, to be made. I'm not on that, Beyonce billionaire status, So, uh, so taking steps, baby steps towards success. So definitely getting your financial house in order, paying down those debts, and getting your credit right. Those types of things are things that I have been working on in my self-love journey and have been progressing through in my self-love journey. Managing my activities, I am a taskmaster. I've always been a person who writes lists, and I enjoy checking off my list as I go along, but sometimes I will put too much on myself. And so I have learned to and am learning to manage my list a little better. So right now, what I'm doing is I'll have a little note card at night. I'll write down 5 things that I want to accomplish in the next day, and I work on those 5 things diligently. And those 5 things are a part of a greater list of things that I want to accomplish. So I work on those, and if I don't finish maybe 1 or 2 things, I don't add and make 6 things to check off. I just, put it on for another day. All right, but I'm making sure that I don't just push things on from day to day, but I really work on getting that task done, because if I say it's important, it needs to get done. And then my actions need to be in alignment with what I'm saying. Okay, so the next thing is eating smarter. All right, not doing so much of the eating out. I am a foodie. I love to go to restaurants, not fast food restaurants, but I do love to go out dining. So making sure that, I curb that. And that goes back with the financial part. And also cook more at home. So I'm doing that. I'm cooking more at home. And so it's okay. I still go out a little balance, but I am cooking more at home. And so part of that is, I know what I'm putting into, when you cook your food, you know what you're putting into your body. You're eating healthier, not eating things that are processed so much. Doing what feeds my soul. Doing what feeds my soul helps me be prepared. He said, how does that help you be prepared? Okay, so saturate myself with reading. So one of the things that I do is I help people publish books. So I've been learning more about that and how to help work on my craft with that, and how to also be the best I can be with writing, and I take time for my own personal writing. Taking time for self-care, that's important. So you got to be your best self, your healthiest self, mind, body, and spirit, in order to be able to address those storms as they come, to be prepared for those storms as they come. So making sure that I have the self-care, that I'm doing my reading, I'm doing my writing. And the next thing is having a routine. Sometimes I could be all over the place. Okay, I'm here, there, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But going back to my list, making sure I'm checking off my list, making sure that I am consistent. Consistency helps you become prepared. All right, so having that routine, expecting the best outcome, and having an open mind, not being so rigid when things happen. Yes, I know that I have a plan. However, things happen, and it's okay if I deviate a little bit from that plan, but at least I have one to go back to. All right, so being open-minded about that. All right, the next thing is radiating love is important to me, and being prepared for the next part of my journey, my self-love journey. It's smiling more, laughing more, and being a person that encourages other people to laugh and smile more, and truly treating people the way that I want to be treated. So if I want people to smile and laugh more at me, then I give it to them. Okay, want to be treated with respect, I give it. All right, and so being deliberate about those things, that mindset, helping me be prepared for um, those storms. Helping me be prepared. Getting rest. Rest is important. Rest helps you rejuvenate. You know, you can't be prepared for the storms if you're tired. Okay? So making sure you get plenty of rest. I get my rest. Anybody knows me, I am a napper. I do love to take my naps. Okay. No judgment here. Don't judge me, but if you do, that's okay. I'm fine with that. But I love my naps. Okay. And limiting my social obligations. So making sure that I segment my time, that I balance it out, that I'm not doing too many social obligations, because for me that is draining, and those obligations will always be there. You can't attend everything. You know, you cannot have self-love and self-care for yourself if you're attending everything. You're not taking care of yourself. So that is what I choose to do, and that is how I choose to be prepared for unanticipated events and anticipated events. So, all right. So just want to touch base on what we talked about today and being prepared. Not only being prepared for the storms, but be prepared for the blessings that are going to happen to you, because they're going to happen when you have good intentions and you are working on yourself and you're being more connected, you're praying, you're meditating. Expect the best outcome. Have faith that what you desire is going to come to pass. And be ready for that. Be ready for it when it happens, because it's going to happen. So let's take a moment, like at the end of every episode, we're going to take a moment to just have affirmations, to affirm, to say what is true, what is going to come to pass, to speak life into ourselves. So giving you 3, and the first one is, and I'm going to say it twice. I'll say it first, and then if you want to, you can say it with me or just listen to it. Let it saturate your soul. I concentrate all my efforts on things that I want to accomplish. I concentrate all my efforts on things I want to accomplish. Next one. I believe in myself. I believe in myself. And lastly, I am prepared and productive. I am prepared and productive. All right. Thank you for joining me again for another Self-Love Sunday. As always, I appreciate you being here. And this is episode 12. I cannot believe it. I'm going to tell you a secret. I really only anticipated doing this for the month of February, but I'm encouraged by people, the viewers, to say, to go on with this, and that is speaking to them. If it helps one person, then I've done my job. Okay. And so, and this also is helping me on my journey. Now, they say that you can transform. Researchers say, scientists say that your body rejuvenates. The cells of your body can rejuvenate in 11 months. All your cells like rejuvenate. So that means you become a new person in 11 months, theoretically. And so I just started this love journey, of course, self-love journey, a while ago, but transition and really full throttle going at this for the past few months. And I am anticipating a great outcome after 11 months. Not saying that my self-love journey will end at that point, of course, because it is a life journey. But you have things that you accomplish and you grow and you have moments. And the person that I was in the beginning of this journey is not the person that I am now. Okay. There is growth that has happened. I am in a better place, and I'm growing to each day. I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm loving life more. And I feel that I'm making a greater impact. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So, once again, thank you for joining me on a self love journey. Please tell other people. Please like, share, and follow our YouTube channel, Self Love Journey with Namibia. Thank you again. Have a wonderful week and hope to see you next Sunday.